Bush School, and welcome to another edition of Bush School in the 87th Texas Legislature. I'm your host, Samantha Gordon, Bush School class of 2021, and a current graduate assistant in the Bush School Communications Office. Our special guest today is Court Mansky. Court is currently working in the Texas Legislature after graduating from the Bush School. Thanks for joining us, Court.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get right in it. What is your current job?
I'm a policy analyst for State Senator Brandon Creighton. I handle a variety of policy areas for the senator, from health and human services to criminal justice, state affairs, and then a few articles within the budget.
So how does your current work in the legislative capstone prepare you for your current position?
So I'm actually working in the same office that I did my legislative capstone for. So I'm working with the same folks. I have the same chief of staff. And it was absolutely vital to A, getting the position, and B, having the knowledge and tools to do the job well. Coming out of the Bush School, I was used to coming into school at least wearing business casual every day, going to events like I would go to here at the Capitol, and working on my writing and my research skills. And so when I came up here for the Capitol for the capstone, I felt well prepared and was honestly able to get a lot more responsibility than I might have thought I would have gotten going in. Last session, I just handled state affairs for the senator, but worked on a whole lot of bills, ended up getting some stuff passed and getting to have a good influence on the public policy side of things. So the capstone was absolutely vital, and maintaining those connections even after I left the office after the capstone was really important for coming back. So I would not be here simply without the capstone. It introduced me to the legislature and everything I'd need to know about how to do a good job here.
That's one thing, the Bush School, they really do a great job preparing us for the world outside of the classroom. So that's great to hear.
And I'm not even the first Bushy in my office.
Oh, wow.
Prior to me and last session, Braden Kennedy was another Bush School student from our office, and he started as an intern in the office as well. So we have a track record of the past two Bushies to come to the office, end up getting full-time positions.
Wow, that network is strong. That's so cool. So introduce us to who you work for and what district they're from.
So I work for State Senator Brandon Creighton. We're Senate District 4. We handle Montgomery County, Jefferson County, Chambers County, parts of Galveston County, and parts of Harris County. That's going to be Conroe, the Woodlands, the Bolivar Peninsula, Beaumont. We are North Houston and then down, touching on the coast and heading towards Louisiana. Senator Creighton is a strong conservative who has been in the legislature since, I believe, 2009. He started as a House rep and served a few terms over there before coming to be a senator here. He's now the chairman of the Higher Education Committee, which affords us a lot of opportunities to work with other members. And he's also on the Finance Committee, which is really exciting. So this year I've gotten a hand in the budget. Senator Creighton always sticks to his guns and is a strong-willed man who speaks only whenever he needs to. And I'm very proud to work for him and have a great time being in his office.
What is the impact you are having on public policy in the state?
So as a legislative staffer, there's a lot of ways that we influence policy. The first, starting with when the senator is working on his legislative agenda, there's the opportunity to have my input in those ideas and what the bills that we file ultimately look like. Last session, the senator, I was working with him on ethics policy, and we noticed that counties don't have the permission to have ethics commissions in every county. It was bracketed to a small number of counties, to just El Paso County, actually. And so in working with the senator and looking at the code, we were able to expand that permission for counties to set up their own ethics commission to every county. So whether it's on the idea side there, or when we hear bills in committee and I get to read and analyze them and flag certain things for the senator and discuss those issues, and then go work with another office to address those issues. So hopefully my boss supports the bill, or we realize that we don't want to vote for the bill. So across the board, whether it's coming up with ideas for bills, having input on bills as they go through committee and the floor, as a staffer, you've got a hand in everything. And ultimately it's your responsibility to know what these bills do and brief your senator, who's got a lot going on. So it's pretty expansive, the impact that you can have on policy. And even in my capstone, there are a number of laws that passed and were signed by the governor that are Texas law today that I had a hand in making.
So what has been your favorite memory or experience so far?
So my favorite memory here is I'm truly blessed to have an office that I get along with very well. You spend late nights here during the legislative session, and you come here early in the morning, and you're not always putting your best face on just because you're stressed and you're working hard. But when you're with people that you really get along with, and that value you and value the work that you do, it's a lot easier to get through those times. So above and beyond in the Capitol, the people that I've met and the community that's up here has been the most enticing things. I went and did an internship in DC in the United States Senate, and while I enjoyed that experience and gained a lot of value from it, it was quite easy to make the decision to come back to Texas, given the experiences that I had here at the legislature and opportunity for input and policy and otherwise. So my favorite memory of my capstone, or my favorite thing about the Capitol, is working with the people and my coworkers, and that's definitely it.
What has been the most shocking experience you've had?
So I think that there's surprises every day at the legislature. We go into every session with an idea of how the legislative session is going to look. And you never know when a pandemic is going to happen, or when a freak ice storm is going to happen and totally change the direction of the legislative session. So the uncertainty in the building and how quickly things can change and how new issues can come up, or how issues can die and not get addressed by the legislature. It's just so surprising of how much things can change in a week to 2 weeks, and how when new problems come up while we're in session, they're ripe for action. And so out of nowhere, you can find yourself, maybe this session I thought really going to only be working on a lot of COVID related matters. And then now a big part of our focus is working on, ERCOT and the PUC as we address the problems with Texas's electrical grid. And so I think the surprises are the surprises that come up when you can never really rest easy here. Anything can happen at any time. And I think we've all lived through 2020 and have that in our heads now. We're a little bit more prepared, but it still surprises you when it snows 6 inches and it changes the whole legislative session.
How is COVID-19 making this year's legislature different from past years?
Again, touching on that uncertainty, we didn't know if we were coming in here wearing masks in the office, if we were taking tests on a regular basis, up until just maybe a week or two before session. So there's the uncertainty there. There's certainly been far fewer social events, whether that's, we have county days here at the legislature where Montgomery County or Chambers County will come up, and activists from our communities will come and visit the office, speak to the senator, and hold events here in town in Austin. None of those are happening, or they're all happening virtually, and the senator's speaking those events. Even right now, I'm having a Zoom call with you, and I have countless Zoom calls each day with folks, and having to get used to establishing connections and exchanging information over Zoom has been a challenge and an interesting one. It's a lot easier to know how someone feels about your bill when you're in the same room as them and you can get that impact. Additionally, we have a far more difficult budget this session than we might have first thought due to the coronavirus. Whether that's sales tax revenue, hotel revenue going down, the economy's been hit, and that changes what we can do this session. And then we also have federal money that might be coming down. So across the board, COVID-19 still is probably the most influential factor on this session and what we're going to be able to do here. But you think there's so many policy issues we never knew would have been important, like ensuring that if you can go and visit your loved one in a nursing home during a pandemic, and creating a procedure for that so your family members aren't suffering alone or in silence. So many things we would have never thought there's a problem. Even after 86 prior legislatures, there's still brand new ideas that are coming up here and issues that we haven't had to encounter before as a state in a real large way. And so I know as I continue to work here year after year, things will surprise us, and there will be new laws that need to be made and new things we need to do to address. I don't think in my lifetime we're going to have enough legislative sessions to solve all the problems. And COVID-19 just brought a whole array of new issues that we need to work on. So when this does happen again, whether it's more severe or less severe, the state's way better prepared to tackle this challenge.
Court, thank you so much for joining us on the Bush School in the 87th Texas Legislature today. Bush School will be back in the near future with another episode in our series. So keep following us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn for future episodes. You can find all of our past episodes online on the Bush School website. Until next time, I'm Samantha Gordon. Have a great day.